Right, ladies and gentlemen, it's Test Match Cricket, of course. We're going to be talking about the India-New Zealand series, and we're going to be joined in by Gareth, who did so, of course, for the T20 international series, where New Zealand were absolutely thumped. India became the first side, of course, to clean sweep a team both home and away. I didn't want to bring that stat in to rub salt into the wounds, Gareth, but welcome on our platforms once again.
Yeah, great to be here. Yeah, unfortunately, New Zealand didn't go too well in the 2020s, but I mean the test series is just around the corner. Hopefully, we can bounce back.
Yep, bounce back indeed. New Zealand, of course, relish a challenge, and Kane Williamson will be back in the thick of things. We'll pick the bones out of it right now with you. But
Yep.
let's, of course, also tell the viewers to subscribe to not just cricket.com, but Gaz channel, because I'll tell you what, it's going to be a gaming month next month. Fingers crossed, if there are no more shenanigans from the Aussies. If you know, you know. Gareth, what do you make of touring India? Because you look at the stats, it's not pretty from a New Zealand fan point of view. Just 2 wins since the time you guys have toured first, which is way back in 1955.
Yeah, I was just reading that before actually. Like, I think our last win was 1980s or something, like late 80s. So yeah, I mean the form's certainly not with us. And yeah, we're going in with like sort of an underdone side, sort of. So I'm not sure. Yeah, it's going to be extremely tough over in India as well. So yeah, we'll hope for the best, I guess.
Indeed, the last time, of course, India took to the field against New Zealand was not in New Zealand or India. It was in England, of course, for that inaugural World Test Championship final. Now, if you look at the New Zealand team, then on paper they went with four pacers. They didn't play Santner. Understandably, horses for courses. How many spinners do you see them playing this time around? Because they have Ajaz Patel, Somerville. I think the Santner, who of course is the frontline one. Tell me, my friend. I mean, who would you like to see them pick?
Yeah, definitely. I think Ajaz Patel should probably be the strike spinner. I reckon he's probably the best one we've got at the moment. Will Somerville as well. I mean, he hasn't played a whole lot of tests, but he still averages low 30s. Same with Patel, Santner. I mean, if they were to bring in three spinners, I mean, Santner would probably play for Jameson as like the all rounder. But I mean, he averages 45 with the ball at test level, so he's still got. I mean, over in India is definitely going to help. With a spin, but I don't know. I think maybe two spinners, and then go in with like a Jameson, Wagner, and Southey.
Yeah, it makes sense because ultimately Wagner is relishing this challenge. We caught up with him and he was pretty adamant about one point the fact that it's fine margins, especially in the subcontinent. And if you get your lines and length wrong, it could be a horrible day. Let's, of course, talk about solving the Conway issue. He's not going to be there. We spoke to Craig McMillan, of course, who's part of our series this time around. He said Will Young. Do you concur with him, Gareth?
Yeah, Will Young, relatively new to the Test scene. He's played only like two or three matches, so he doesn't usually open though. He's more of a 3 or 4, I think. If I was, well, I mean, they've had Blundell open like as a makeshift opener, and he's actually been going pretty well. He averages, probably 30 odd, like, maybe high 30s, maybe. So I mean, I feel like going with Blundell will probably be the better option to pair up with Latham up top, and then have Will Young come in at maybe. I mean, he's probably going to be in like he'll be middle order at least if they bring him in. Otherwise, they might put Will Young to open and have Blundell down the order, because I mean Blundell has to play as pretty much the only keeper we've got. So it just depends where they're going to put him.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that because Tom Latham, of course, is he there in the scheme of things or is he waiting in
Yeah,
the
he's
wings?
he's playing, but he hasn't kept in a while, and I think they just would rather use him as an opener and not have to worry about keeping.
Yeah, especially in the subcontinent where spinners, they'll probably do about 540 squats a day. It really takes a toll out of them in sapping conditions.
Yeah.
Let's, of course, ask you about New Zealand's streak, right? Because you take a look at all the records, they've kept clean sheets. They beat England. Of course, the lead up to that World Test Championship final, they had good series against Pakistan and West Indies at home. The last time, in fact, they lost was against Australia in that series 3-0. Can they take any confidence going into this Indian series, knowing that, you know what, we're actually a really, really good team paper, in fact, number one in the world?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So we've already got the form over them, and the last time we did play them, we did beat them in their World Test Championship final. So, I mean, yeah, with the team can go in with a full amount of confidence, even though they didn't have the best 2020 series. I mean, there's a few different changes in their team, but yeah, they should be pretty confident. It's going to be a huge ask though to beat India in India, especially given the history that they've had. But yeah, I think the form at the moment that we're in, like we've been well, I mean, we are the number one team in the world at the moment, so we should be pretty confident in that, and hopefully it shows out there on the field.
Yeah, indeed. You actually speak like one of the New Zealanders in the team scheme of things, which is really interesting to hear. A final couple of questions from my side. India, I mean, no big guns in terms of Virat Kohli, Mohammad Shami, Rishabh Pant, just with Bumrah. The names go on, really. You know, Rohit Sharma, of course. How do you view this Indian side? Can they be turned over? Because it's going to be one of those old test matches kind of things where people just bat, bat, and bat.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Yeah, we've got to try and take advantage of them not putting out their strongest squad. So I think this gives us a real good chance. Still, yeah, I mean, over the conditions over there are going to be quite testing. But if there's a time to beat India in India, it's probably now with the team that they've named at the moment, especially with all the outs as well.
Yeah, yeah, it's insane. I mean, the strength and depth that this Indian cricket team generally has across all formats is scary. Let me tell you that. Right. How are you going to watch this test match? Because I know the first one starts on Thursday. For people back home, I think the first ball will be 6 p.m. New Zealand time, which here it's a 9:30 a.m. start. Or will it be a lot of hot chocolate and coffee consumed?
Yeah, well, I'm currently in Australia at the moment, which so it's even a 4 o'clock start, so it's even better. So I
Yeah.
might it might not be a late night for me. I might be able to watch it all in the evening, which would be perfect. So hopefully I can do that. Yeah, I mean it's probably perfect viewing time straight after work. So can't ask for much more there.
Yeah, indeed. And it's going to be a fascinating second test because, of course, one day prior to that, Cricket 22 releases. Hopefully, they have the game and then we can see a lot more from Gareth because I'll tell you what, I mean, he's done an interview with the Big Ant guys and it was a compelling interview and they came out clean about the whole shenanigans which happened. Right. Predictions before we leave you. It's a two test match series. I hate this personally because it should either be three or literally nothing less than three. Is it
Yep.
going to be 1-1, a drab 0-0? Tell me.
Well, I mean, before the 2020 series, I did say 1-1. I did say India were going to win the 2020 series 2-1, so that wasn't right. Look, yeah, I think first test is probably going to be our biggest chance. So I'd say hopefully we win that one, and then maybe India bring one back in the last one when Kohli's back. But yeah, I'm split down the middle, 1-1 once again.
I mean, I'm glad you say 1-1 because we're hoping not a draw in this one. But knowing that modern day cricket normally just goes up to day four sometimes, it could be a result oriented series. And 1-1 is a fair prediction, my friend. Right, Gareth, thank you so much for, of course, making time again for cricket.com. We wish you well the series. We'll catch you, of course, with the brand new game coming out. I don't want to give any more plugs to Big Hand Studios, but if you guys know, you know. Thanks for your time, my friend.
Cool. Nah, thanks for having me.
Cheers. Right, so that was just kind of pondering over this India New Zealand series. I mean, you take a look at the Ashes coming up, but this is the marquee series. Making no mistake of it. You can catch it all on cricket.com. Until then, subscribe and keep liking our videos pretty much.